sincerity on thy touchstone. Grant
Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says physical culture is the best way of developing the consciousness of the body, and the more the body is conscious, the more it is capable of receiving the divine forces that are at work to transform it and give birth to the new race. Remember the Gita. Let your chariot be driven by the divine, and you're sure of the victory. Our love and blessings and help are always with you, says our Divine Mother. Krishna's light enveloping the ashram. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, violet is the radiance of Lord Krishna's protection. That was why, very naturally, it brought to you a sense of peace. The mother says that she always saw it when she was in communion with Lord Krishna, and now too constantly sees it enveloping the ashram. From the collective works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, volume 30, page 157. The Radiating Centre, surcharged with divine vibrations. Our Divine Mother says, take a place like this, which is surcharged with certain forces, certain vibrations. These vibrations do not show themselves in visible and tangible things. They can produce changes, but as these changes occur, according to a method, you pass almost logically from one state to another, and this logic prevents you from perceiving that there is something here which does not belong to normal life. Our Divine Mother says, well, those who have no other perception than that of the ordinary mind, who see things working out as they habitually do or seem to do in ordinary life, will tell you, oh, that is quite natural. If they have no other perception than the purely physical perception, if they are not capable of feeling the quality of a vibration, some feel it vaguely, but those who are not even capable of feeling that, who have nothing in them corresponding to that, or if they have something, it is not awakened, they will look at the life here and tell you, it is like the physical life. You have perhaps some ideas of your own, but there are many who have their own ideas. Perhaps you do things in a special way, but there are lots of people who also do things in a special way. After all, it is a life like the one I live. And so it may very well happen that at a given moment the supramental force manifests, that it is conscious here, that it acts on matter. But those who do not consciously participate in its vibration are incapable of perceiving it. Our Divine Mother says, people say, when the supramental force manifests, we shall know it quite well, it will be seen. Not necessarily. They will not feel it any more than those people of little sensitivity who may pass through this place, even live here, without feeling that the atmosphere is different from elsewhere. Listen, as I had when I came from Japan, I was on the boat at sea, not expecting anything. I was, of course, busy with the inner life, but I was living physically on the boat when all of a sudden abruptly about 2 nautical miles from Pondicherry. The quality, I may even say the physical quality of the atmosphere, of the air changed so much that I knew we were entering the aura of Sri Aurobindo. It was a physical experience, and I guarantee that whoever has a sufficiently awakened consciousness can feel the same thing. From the Collective Works of Our Divine Mother, Volume 4, page 222. Next topic, Sri Aurobindo has become more accessible. Our Divine Mother says, without doubt, you can now communicate easily with our Lord, with Him. There are many who put themselves in contact with Him and find their answers. He has become more accessible to us, and He is much more active. If something is not all right and you would like to know the cause, or you want to get rid of a weakness or get cured or be cleansed, to have a difficulty removed in order to be purified, for any answer, come and ask Sri Aurobindo at the Samadhi. Come and ask Sri Aurobindo, our Lord, at the Samadhi, and you will have the answer. Our Divine Mother says, for any answer, come and ask our Lord Sri Aurobindo at the Samadhi, and you will have the answer. Not only His answer, but also His blessings, His compassion, His peace, and His illumination. You will be engulfed and seized by His love that is all powerful. Once you abandon yourself to Him, you will be protected against all mishaps. It is like this, His influence. He reveals Himself to all those who are simple, sincere, and humble. He is there, perfectly conscious, and He directs all the activities of the world. It is formidable. His presence vibrates concrete all around the Samadhi, and His influence penetrates and touches the central being and awakens the consciousness to the spiritual life. Our Divine Mother says, even the agnostics, the unbelievers, people of bad will who come out of curiosity to visit the Samadhi, return amazed by a mysterious alchemy and find an inner peace, because there He showers His peace and His compassion constantly. It is this that baits them when they pass before Him. It is an unbelievable surcharged activity of His force and His presence. Words of the Divine Mother taken from the Conversation with Mona Sarkar, book Blessings of Grace, page 121-22. Next topic, it is He who is there at the Samadhi. Our Divine Mother says, when I look at the Samadhi and see what is happening there, I was astonished to find this column of dazzling light vibrating with an energy and a transforming force. It rises like this, and our Divine Mother makes an upward movement with hands, with a splendor and a brilliance like an effusion of light from the length and breadth of the Samadhi. It is the new light materializing. It is a sanctified place for meditation and not for gossip. Never to speak, one disturbs the atmosphere. Here is there with His glorified body sustaining the entire world in a subtle moment, manifesting gradually His consciousness partially veiled for the divine descent. He is the living assurance of our divine possibility, the promise of the divinity radiating with the divine light and the divine power, the progressive march towards the divine manifestation. That is why the whole atmosphere is charged with a divine and sublime peace. You understand? It is He who is there in the divine body, Himself divinized, the representative of the whole humanity. He, our Divine Mother says, He who, by his own effort, by his tapasya and by the sadhana that he has done in his body, has made his body glorious. The realizations and the experiences he has had, what he has accumulated in his body by this yogic effort, has charged his body with a transforming power. It is charged dynamically with a force and a light that overflows. It is this that envelops the whole atmosphere. Our Divine Mother says all around it is His presence. It endures because it is the supramental force and shows no sign of diminishing. It cannot. It is this that the people absorb when they pass around the Samadhi. Without knowing it, they are bathed by His love, and they do not even realize as to why they are mystified when they approach the Samadhi. It is amazing. Those who are open are touched, and they return to recharge themselves and to imbibe in their being this peace that is in the atmosphere. His presence is so concrete and so living, like a conscious immensity that dominates and charges this atmosphere. I see how it seems to float in evanescent lights and colors and a beauty of unseizable delight, a spirit of purity and an elusive presence, though unsubstantial, yet nearly material, carrying a sweetness unknown to the world. It seems to me that a heart that is one-pointed, aspiring ardently for the divine, if it stands before the Samadhi and desires nothing but his beatitude, will be transported into a region of delight much brighter, much better and higher than the ecstasy experienced by the all-powerful heavens or that the earth has ever known. Our Divine Mother says His devotees and those who aspire, truly aspire to unite their consciousness with our Lord Sri Aurobindo, who dominates this place with His formidable presence, find the grandeur of His majestic presence as concrete as you see me now, and those who wish to communicate with Him find His invariable answer. He is there, all puissant with all His power, and He presides over the new creation from behind the wheel with a sustained insistence and an unbelievable patience, but determined as is His mode of action, gaining victories one after another, first to change the consciousness of humanity and then to transform it in all its dimensions, knowing well that these resistances and these monetary falls prepare humanity to overcome the obstacles before it, and guiding its mode of action and its attitude by a global movement in the peace of His life. And above all, this is based on spirituality and not on those so-called pseudo-religious movements whose essence is fanaticism, war, and unnecessary quarrels. These are the words of our Divine Mother from the book Blessings of the Grace, words of our Mother while in conversation with Mona Sarkar, page 122 to 25. Ashram Atmosphere. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, it is not the house, it is the inner nearness that matters. What is true is that there is a strong force going out from here, and it is naturally strongest at the center. But how it affects there depends on how one receives it. If it is received with simple trust, faith, openness, confidence, then it works as a complete protection, but it can so work too at a distance. What are the ashram presents? Every house in which the sadhaks of the ashram live is in the ashram presence. People have a queer way of talking of the houses in this compound of the ashram. It has no meaning. Or do they think the mother's influence or mine is shut in a compound? There are two atmospheres in the ashram, ours and that of the sadhaks. When people with a little perceptiveness come from outside, they are struck by the deep calm and peace in the atmosphere, and it is only when they mix much with the sadhaks that this perception and influence fade away. The outer atmosphere of dullness or unrest is created by the sadhaks themselves. If they are open to the Divine Mother as they should be, they would live in the calm and peace and not in unrest or dullness. This is taken from the collective works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, volume 35, page 631-32. These are the words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo and our Divine Mother.